Hello Raiders, this is Ezron. Welcome to my Bastion. Now that I did the first run of my Unkillable Clanboss team and did about 28 million damage, the next thing to do is optimize this further, hopefully so I can get into a solid 2-key range, which means you need to do 35.5 million on average in order to get 70 million in 2 keys. I did do some other runs over the past few days. Like here was a 27 million run, so not quite as good, with again a cult brawler, pulling half the weight and then everything else sort of spread out in a lesser amount. And then one later in the day, yesterday, which was 31 million. With again a cult brawler doing a lot and Sawai doing a bit more. In this case, I only need to find 4 million more, so that's less than a million per champion. In the other case, I'm closer to 2 million per champion. So we got to figure out what we can do to make the team do a little bit more damage. Now, I probably spent 40 million silver in gearing and building this beforehand, so I don't have a whole lot of extra resources to do it right now. And I'm looking at low-hanging fruit if I can at this point. So my first thing to do was look at Sawai. I changed her gloves so they're a set match with the Cruel set here that gives her a little bit more attack and ignore defense on the Clanboss. Rolled her amulet, so now we're at higher crit damage. And then I did roll a little bit more accuracy in her just to make it easier to land debuffs on the Clanboss. I'm not taking this intentionally to 16 right now just in case I get speed on the last stat, because I don't know that I have something to replace it with no speed in order to keep her in the correct turn order. That brings her stat-wise 2,900 attack. It'll be way nicer to get another 1,000 or 2,000 attack there. She's way over crit rate because the gloves now are 6-star, and then 140% crit damage. So I have room to grow, but we'll see what this changes in terms of her general damage output. So this is my third key for today. I tried my second key earlier today and the run finished at like turn 21 or 22. I'm hoping that's due to weirdnesses around stun targeting by having a weak affinity damage dealer on the Magic Clanboss. So I was pretty lucky from the perspective of it took me only 2 pieces of gear to change in order to get the correct speed for Frozen Banshee that should sync right in with this. Now, I am not a huge fan of Frozen Banshee because if her A3 gets resisted, it means she can't place any poisons, so that's not really the outcome that I like, but I don't have a better choice right now that's easy to build. So I'm going to go with that and see how it works, and then hopefully I will get a run that goes all of the way to turn 50. And there's Maneater. Just to make sure we're doing what I'm going to turn off Utter Rampage for Sawai. And I shouldn't have to turn off Cruel Exaltation for Frozen Banshee because I believe the AI already won't use that because the turn meter boost messes with turn order, but I'm going to turn it off just to be safe. And you'll see her statistics here. She is the correct speed, but crit rate is low, crit damage is a little bit low. She does still however have good accuracy, so I'm expecting her to be able to land poisons relatively well. We'll save that. Close here. My Magic Affinity Friendly Clanboss team. Turn off, start on auto, and here we go. Now the real goal in all of this was to check changes I made to Sawai, but I need to get a full run in order to see how that's going to happen. So here we go. Expect the starting turn order will be the same. Good as expected. Now, Frozen Banshee put up sensitivity so she can land poisons. Weaken for Sawai. Hopefully we'll get, and we did not get a hit point burn proc. Then A1 from Painkeeper. Good. Now A2, Frozen Banshee should get, sorry, Bulwark should get the stun, and then we're off to auto. That's good. And there we go. I'll let this go a few turns, and we'll see how we do. Then I'll pause and check in every 5 or 10 turns, just so we don't have to watch a long run on auto. There's a second. Should be an AoE, not a stun. That's good, we're happy there. Much like my Occult Brawler, Frozen Banshee has lifesteal on because she was on my traditional Clanboss team. So that should keep her from being the stun target ever because she'll be at full health most of the time, but we'll see how it goes. Then if this next stun hits Bulwark, as I expect, we'll just check in every 5 or 10 turns and see how we're doing in terms of damage for the Clanboss. There we go. Stun was on Bulwark as expected, so I'll come back in just a few turns. Now here we are back at turn 10. I'm actually liking this team a lot more than I expected so far. Bulwark's debuff extension when he gets hit has meant that the poison sensitivity has stayed up for the entire flight so far, which is good for Frozen Banshee. You'll see her hopefully place it right here. There we go. The debuff bar wasn't full, so that's good. And we will continue on. But overall, I'm doing more damage with this setup than I did with Occult Brawler. So despite my initial misgivings, I might end up sticking with this team, except on Force Affinity Clanboss. So I'll come back in a few turns and we'll see how we're doing. And we're back here at turn 15 where Bulwark just took another stun at 9.5 million damage on turn 15. So overall this is looking to be a stronger run than my initial one, which is a nice pleasant surprise. We'll come back, check around turn 20. Now here we are back on turn 20. This is about where the last run fell apart. It's looking much better right now. I think the problem must have been with having a weak affinity stun targets, which caused the stun to bounce around, and then either Painkeeper or Maneater got it once or twice, which meant that we couldn't keep Unkillable up at the correct time. But overall, yeah, we're now at 21 turns and 12, almost 13 million, which is quite a good showing for this first time the team has ever run together. So I will check back shortly and see how we're doing. So here we are at turn 40 and 25 million damage. I will say the debuff bar has emptied itself once or twice, but overall this is looking to be a good run. I'm not going to make 30 million, but it's overall not bad. Check back in a few turns and we'll see where we end up with this one. Alright, and we're coming up now on turn 48, almost 49, so the run will end just at 50. We're on track for 32 million damage, which, considering the expectations I had for this team, is pretty good. I'll be curious to see once we do some analysis, how much of it was Frozen Banshee with extra poisons and how much of it was Sawai's tweaks that we made. So here we go, 31, almost 32 million damage. Overall, not bad. Let's do some analysis on this real quick. So now comparing this run to my previous high, which you can see here, Occult Brawler did about 17 million damage. Frozen Banshee did just over 17 million. Previously, Sawai did 4.5 million. Now she's down to 4. It seems unlikely that giving her additional attack and the ability to ignore a small amount of defense would decrease her damage output. So I think this is probably more an indicator of a different number of War Master procs, or potentially debuffs falling off, that such as the weaken or decrease defense. Looking at the rest of the team, previous run Bulwark did 3.5 million, now 3.6, so about the same. Painkeeper doing about 200,000 more, and Maneater doing about 400,000 more than before. So overall, the run was about the same in total damage. It just apportioned itself slightly differently. I think this comes down to RNG, and like I said earlier, either War Master procs or physical damage debuffs falling off. So I'm going to continue to tweak this team and see what I can do to get it to a consistent 35 million. Stand by for a couple more videos and views about the things that I modify. And please like the videos and subscribe to the channel if this helps you build your team or you get some neat insights into it. That's what I'm here for, to help everyone be more successful at Raid. So this is Ezron signing off.